welcome back to my channel. Today we are back with a book review. It has been a long time since we've done a book review. We've been so focused on cooking, which I've been loving meal prepping and such, but I've missed a good book review. I've read 12 books so far this year. Today is March 1st. It is crazy. This video probably won't be up for a little bit. Anywho, it is March 1st. We've read 12 books and I'm only reviewing 4 of them so far this year. Ones that are worth it. But today we are doing The Nightingale by Kristin. I never picked up her books before, and my mom had read The Woman, but I was like, no, I'm not into any of that historical stuff. I don't want to read a book that has to do with historical things, events, whatever. I was like, I'm just not that into history. Well, let me tell you, the way she writes, I will be reading another one of her books again because it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. So here is what you need to know. The genre is obviously historical fiction and it follows World War II drama. It is when the Nazis occupied France during World War II. And there is just a lot of stuff that you uncover that you may not have known. And it's brought in a way of world building and storytelling that is so, so good. And it didn't even feel like a history lesson. Anyways, it follows 2 sisters navigating survival, resistance, love, and sacrifice. And just goes through what would you risk to survive and to resist against and stand for what you believe in. So it is following during 1940 to 1944, where the Nazis take over the control of French towns, and some of the French are trying to flee for survival, some of them don't make it, and the rules are very strict. Just Nazi focused. Nazis get everything while everyone else is meant to suffer. And it just starts with the Nazis taking control. Then, as we may know, they then start deporting Jewish citizens. And it starts off by just non-French Jewish citizens. So if they are French and Jewish, they were allowed to stay. Then eventually it comes to take all the Jewish citizens, no matter how they were raised, where they were born, whatever. If they're Jewish and they were born in France still, they were deported. And it also then brings into the French resistance efforts. It was all undercover French, and this may be a spoiler, this tidbit, but one of the sisters, goes against the Nazis with the French resistance to try to make a difference and make it a better place to be. And then obviously it was inspired by real women, part of the resistance, but it's not all based on a true story. So we have 2 main characters that we are following, Vivian and Isabel. Vivian is the older sister, she's married and a mother. Her husband goes off to fight in the war. Then she's forced to house a German officer, and her thoughts during this whole time are like a wave in a roller coaster. Like, she goes from hating to hating again. And she represents survival, endurance, and quiet resistance. She is very to herself about her thoughts. She doesn't voice anything. She keeps her thoughts safe inside. Her sister Isabel is her younger sister. She's rebellious, bold, and impulsive. She joins the resistance. And her code name is the Nightingale. So this whole book does follow her, but also goes back and forth between her point of view and her sisters and what they're doing in their own form to resist the Nazis taking over. She represents active defiance and courage. She is very out there with how she feels about the Nazis and them taking over France. Major themes we are seeing throughout this book is the strength of women. It is a big center focus of the book between Isabel and Vianne. I think I said Vivian before, but it's Vianne. Isabel and Bian, they really are resilient and strong in their own ways during this time, and it really shines on how they had to hold down things for their families, or they were had to help to make change too. Just as some of the men were, of course. Survival versus resistance, where it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, you had to survive to resist, but you were also risking your life to resist. And then also, when do you choose survival over being part of the resistance? It's all, like, very crazy. Love and sacrifice. There's romantic love, familial love, and sacrifice for strangers, which also turns into a love story within itself. And morale complexity. Not every German soldier is portrayed as purely evil, which the soldier Vian houses is not evil. He actually feels really terrible about what he's doing, but it's his job. He has to do it so his family in Germany is safe, blah, blah, blah. Like, he is doing it for the right reasons for himself, but knows what he's doing to the French are bad as well. So it's like, he is bad, but he's not completely bad. And then the French citizens face impossible choices, whether that's, do we skip a meal? Do we fight against this? Do we just let it handle? There are so many choices that they have to make and consequences that are just going to follow because of the nature of the book and the time. There is a huge emotional impact. I really didn't think, not really being that into history, that it was going to have much of an emotional impact on me, but I did cry. I cried for sure. It was heartbreaking and intense. Graphic, but not overly graphic. It was graphic for sure, but I wouldn't say anything too bad. It's just the reality and the truth of what happened during that time. The ending is emotional and reflective. After I finished, I was like, what just happened? Like, I cried in the last couple pages because I'm gonna, like, wow. Like, I forgot, and now I'm remembering, I'm like, dang. But people died for what they believed in and stood up for what they believed in, and it was just really emotionally moving, for sure. Definitely made me cry. Despite the length of the book, it's not the biggest book I've read, but not the smallest. It definitely was fast-paced because you reach a point where, like, I have to know what's happening. I have to keep reading. Like, if I don't keep reading, I'm just going to spiral thinking about it. It's emotional and immersive. Like, to take history and bring it into a book that's just to really shine on what happened and what people went through is just amazing. Like, it takes a lot, and it was really well written, and she really nailed it on the head. It's strong character development. So I liked that it was emotional, it had a powerful ending, and it highlights lesser known World War II history. I was literally had to look some stuff up to see if it happened because I was shocked. I didn't know that this might be ignorant, but I didn't know that they fully invaded France too. Like, I didn't realize that the Nazi movement was that deep, and that just might be me. I don't have a lot of historical knowledge. I don't really stay in touch with a lot of events going on, and I really should, because I felt very ignorant. And but it was a great history lesson in a book that didn't make my brain hurt my brain to just think about all this stuff that was happening. At the same time, it was really nice to have an idea of what actually went on from different perspectives as well. Some people might not like the heavy subject matter in it. It just depends your level. So I would check the content warnings and see if it's something that you would like to read. And if you're hesitant because of the history or World War II, I would say give it a try. It is so good, so worth the read. I am so glad I picked it up because I was hesitant, and then I ended up loving it. If you're also scared of how many pages it is, don't be. Everyone has their own pace. Even a 500-page book, if it takes you a month, if it takes you 2 months, It doesn't matter. You're still reading. You're still doing it. Everyone's pace is different. Everyone reads at their own pace. And that's okay. I think everyone should read this book. However, if you love historical fiction, you love World War II dramas, you enjoy emotional, character-driven stories, and if you're in a book club, this is a great book for you, and I do recommend it. But once again, I think everyone should read it. It was fantastic. My official rating for this book was a 4.5, and I said, wow, wow, wow. This was my first ever historical fiction, and I'm not disappointed. The writing style was so good. I am happy I read this. The last chapter left me bawling my eyes out. I feel like I learned so much, and with the sense of fiction, it made it easier to read. This was a well-told story of love and heartbreak all at once, through trials and heroes standing up for what they knew was right. I definitely recommend this one, and will be reading more of her books. Are there any you recommend? And then, just some food for thought. Which sister's choices did you relate to more? I feel like I can see both point of views, but I am very much someone who is blunt and just speaks what I feel, and I feel like I would relate more to Isabel and be part of the action and really stand up for what I believe in and get down to it. Was survival enough, or was resistance necessary? I think all of the above. I think in order to survive, you needed to resist a little, and in order to resist, you need to survive. Like, I think they both go hand in hand. I do think both are extremely necessary for each other. The ending was satisfying to the story, but I wish it didn't happen. I wish it was a happy ending, but obviously things don't end with happy endings always, and that's okay. It is what it is, and I can't wait to read more of her books. If there are any books you would like me to read and review, please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.